You're watching Awani Selecta, a show where we aggregate all the current events that are happening or has happened this week on this channel. We start off with the election season at Semenyih, where in the show called Let's Talk with my colleague Sharat Kutan, we interviewed Uncle Kentang, one of the independent candidates contesting in the Semenyih by-election.
I'm going to call you Uncle Kentang. Just to keep the brand going. The question is, of course, for you, what is your role as independent? Why would you want to enter this contest? Do you think you have a good chance of actually winning in Semenyih?
I think I have a fair chance. I stand a good chance, a fair chance to stand in Semenyih. And I believe that for all this while, we are looking into a new coalition to come in, Pakatan Harapan, to bring us to a greater heights in Malaysia. But unfortunately, for these 9 months, I'm quite a bit of disappointed against them. Then I believe that it's time for the Rakyat to really say something. And for me, it's a new, path. I hope that every Malaysian stand up to say what you want to say. And
okay, so you say that there's a general feeling of disappointment. You feel the disappointment, others might feel the disappointment. Why do you think it will translate into a win for you, as opposed to people voting for the previous administration, Representative Barisan Nasional and the candidate from UMNO? On what evidence do you have that you have a good chance?
You see, I've been helping up people in Semenyih, in Branang, in Rincing, for quite a long time. I've been doing social service for a long time. I have ambulance with me. We have, of course, we have all the vet jenazah and also program of helping the poor. So I think that the most important thing, what I have in Puchong, why can't I duplicate it into Semenyih? And as I see that Semenyih, we are semi-rural area. That means when the sick wants to go to the hospital, they have to travel quite far.
We also have a Bersatu strategist, Datuk Dr. Rais Hussein, describing to us the current ongoings of the elections and how this is a battle for the Malays more than anything. Also on Let's Talk with Sharat Kutan.
Big question, of course, is Semenyih, as a by-election, is it a bellwether by-election, one that signals real changes on the ground for where Malaysia wants to go?
I think Semenyih is a very important by-election for Pakatan Harapan. We have worked very hard. I've been there the last 3-4 days, almost every night, late into wee hours in the morning. I have interactions with the people on ground, and they are very simple people who want simple thing in their life. What is that? They want better quality of life, they want better cost of living, they want things that is good, very natural, what people want. And I believe Aiman, young as he is, he's energetic and so on. Yes, everyone has the strength and weaknesses. If somebody says that everyone is super strong, I think only even Superman who flies has weaknesses.
Yeah, it's called kryptonite. Okay, yeah. Before we get to the kryptonite, I do want to ask you about Tunku Razali Hamzah, who is the UMNO Advisory Council chairman. He came out with a statement saying that the opposition can grab a Semenyih, then it can go on to win Selangor back. I mean, he is suggesting that this one constituency will be a bellwether for the fate of the state. At the moment, Pakatan Harapan has 50 out of the 56 seats. Do you think that Tunku Razali is overstating his case? Maybe
he's on Ketum, because why I'm saying that, you have 51 of the 56 in the general election. Of course, this man passed away, and now we have this election. To say that that is going to be a finale referendum, and if something happens in Semenyih, the whole Selangor will fall, that is very, very marijuana speaking.
So it's slightly delusional.
Very delusional. I mean, this man, I respect him. I respect Tunku Razali. But, sometimes this is the problem when politicians talk.
Remember to watch all these shows on Let's Talk with Sharat Kutan. It airs daily every 10 p.m. Of course, there's repeats, and also you can actually find those shows on astroawani.com. Next up, a little about the health show that we have on Health Matters with Dishan Kumar. It airs every Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m. This week, we discussed the issue of rare diseases. And this is, of course, in conjunction with the Rare Disease Day of 2019.
Now, Dr. Mu, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you are a very, very busy man. It was very difficult to get this interview with you. So let's start off very quickly. What classifies as a rare disease?
So rare disease refer to diseases that have very low incidence or prevalence in the population.
Okay.
So there is no uniform definition of rare disease. So in the world, so generally the figure range from 1 in 10,000 population to like 1 in 5 in 10,000 population. So those are considered low prevalence.
Okay. Now, doctor, the rare disease in Malaysia, what are the statistics like, or is there any statistics in Malaysia currently?
In Malaysia, we do not have official definition of rare disease, but some of the NGOs and some of the advocates recommends that with rare disease is defined as diseases with prevalence of 2.5 patients per 100,000 population. So overall, there is probably more than 8,000 different rare diseases in the world. So a lot of these diseases, actually more than 80%, they are caused by genetic mutation. So mostly are genetic in origin. There are also some non-genetic rare disease, like some rare degenerative disease, rare infectious disease. So most of these patients, probably over half, are actually children. And but having said that, some rare disease, their onset can be in the later life, in the adulthood. And most of these rare disease, they are chronic disease. They are causing a lot of disability, and also burdens on the patient itself, as well as the family and the society.
Be sure to keep up to date on all the related issues on health matters with Dishan Kumar. Also, still related to health is on the issue of smoking, where this week's show on the society with Farhana, they discuss a little bit about how smoking and the impact of quitting smoking will generally change the whole livelihood of everyone.
People get addicted to smoking because of nicotine. Now, nicotine is one of the world's most addictive substance, and when you smoke a cigarette, the nicotine basically goes from where you smoke right up to your brain receptors in a matter of seconds, so you get the immediate hit. And when it hits the brain, it actually activates a sensor that releases dopamine, so you feel pleasure from it. When you activate these receptors, each cigarette you smoke over time will actually increase the number of receptors, so you get more and more pleasure out of it. And conversely, if you were to stop smoking, then those receptors that were left open will not be filled, and then you will start having all these withdrawal symptoms.
While we found the reasons why we can get addicted to smoking, what actually happens to our body when we smoke?
The main danger comes from the fact that when you smoke, you're smoking all the other chemicals that are in the cigarette as well. So in a cigarette, you've got about 4,000 chemicals, of which a few dozen are carcinogenic and they can cause cancer. But then the other chemicals can cause other problems as well. Diseases like heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure. You can also get things like gangrene, so anything that really affects your blood flow. You can also get issues with regards to your lungs specifically, so things like lung cancer, emphysema or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. If you've got an underlying lung problem like asthma or pulmonary fibrosis, then smoking is going to make things worse, and you're going to increase the risk of developing infections like pneumonia.
According to World Health Organization, direct use of tobacco has resulted in more than 6 million deaths worldwide. But what's more alarming is that over 890,000 people died not because of smoking, but as a result of being exposed to secondhand smoke.
Now, if you're looking at groups like children and groups like women or pregnant women, and they get affected as well. And this is not just smokers, but those who are secondary smokers. So examples would include a higher risk of bronchitis, a higher risk of asthma in children, a higher risk of prematurity in pregnant women in terms of early deliveries, a higher risk of birth defects, and increasingly we're finding evidence of third-hand smoke as well, which is essentially chemicals that are left behind on our baju, on tables and stuff like that. So when you touch a table and it's sticky and it's full of chemicals, that's coming from something that's in a cigarette.
And finally, on my own show, Notepad with Ibrahim Sani, I speak with the MP of Julau. The Sarawakian MP actually went to Cambodia to talk to the prison officials there, as well as government-to-government discussions that are ongoing to release the Cambodia 47. We all know the big story of 47 Malaysians being detained without trial, who are now safely back in or on Malaysian shores. My discussion with YB Larry discusses the end-to-end developments and the conclusion to that story on Notepad with me, Ibrahim Sani. The conversation is very serious here, and it's not just about the 47 Malaysians being detained, it's the fact that we didn't know about it for many, many days and months. Could you describe to us the story or the chronology of how things were the time that they were arrested until the day that you did your press conference?
Sure. This all happened in December of last year. And December of last year, we had 47 Malaysians who were in 2 different localities, 2 different houses. From what I understand, is just prior to the 11th of December, which was the day they were locked up, there was an altercation in the house. There was some fighting, and as a result of that, the neighbors got information of this, reported to the police. The police raided the place on the 11th. Subsequently, all 47 were identified and sent to a police lockup. A week later, 8 nationals from a different nationality were released, and 47 of them were sent to prison. They were also asked to sign documents in Cambodian language, which they did not understand. And subsequently, they were in prison and were not notified to the Malaysian authorities for a period of over 16 days. So during this time, there were some members of the family who were from Sarawak who were very concerned. They approached me, a person by the name of Uncle Azra approached me to see whether we can assist in this case. He had himself gone down to Cambodia to find out more information. So he had traveled to Cambodia in December, late December. They found out only from the press in December on the 28th that there was a lockup of 47 Malaysian individuals, and very, very little information came out of prison. Now, Malaysian Embassy also didn't have much information at hand. And so I was brought into the picture. I was asked 2 days before, which is on the 5th of February, to see whether I'll be interested to raise this issue.
Those are some of the key things that have happened for this week. Remember, we have another aggregator show on Selecta tomorrow, so be sure to catch me then.